My name is Mbi Arambaran H.U. Ferdinand. Uh, Today we're going to be looking at the project that the design and graphic teacher gave in class. We're going to see how to design this to come to something close to this. Because remember, he did not give us the assets, so we're going to have to get our own assets by ourselves and then um, try to get something as close to this as possible. Okay. I think I've downloaded some assets. I have my images right here, which I'll be using. So I think I'll go ahead and create my artboard. As you can see, it's looking okay. It's looking like okay. So we're going to say new. Then we'll increase the height a little bit to 200. I'm gonna code the artboard for 100, 1000 by 1200 pixels. With my iPad. Good. So it looks close to what he has, what the teacher has. So I'll just take my windows back to reset to essential details so that it will be the same like yours. Okay, now I think you have the same with me. Now I'll be flipping back from my Photoshop back to the image that we are going to into the file so that we look at what we actually need to do at every point in time. Okay, I would have done this before and then we do it again after, but I just want to do it so you follow alongside with me so that you also see the mistakes I also do. So stay tuned as we'll be going. So next thing is I need to bring my text. First of all, I want to put in text. Okay, let me put in the text that we need. Okay, no, I think let's put in the background first, right? Let's put in the background. So go right here, and we're going to use this image for our background. Okay, why is this taking time? That's our background image that we're going to use. So just enlarge it like that, and then press enter. So that's our background image. Mm, yeah, so that's how our image is looking like. So the next thing I want to do is we want to create the want to create the shape, right? Yes. So let's create the shape. So we're going to go ahead and create a shape by using the rectangle tool. I just select the rectangle tool and create a shape. Let's check. Okay, let's reduce the size of our shape. Let's create a smaller one. Something like this. Yes, I think something like this. Now, if you created a bigger shape, you can just go ahead and click the transform tool, and then with the transform tool, you can go ahead and come to edit and take transform. Right, with the move tool on button, take transform. You can use free transform, where you can just reduce the size of your shape, right, the way you would like it to be. Right, so if you want it smaller you can do that, and as you can see it is shrinking the width and the height at the same time. If you don't want it to do so, you can just come up here and click this. It's gonna stop shrinking the width and the height, so if you, yeah, so you can do that. Now let's go back here. You can see that one side of this shape is verging down like this. How do we do that? We're going to come right here into edit and still go to transform. This time around, we're going to go to um, transform this thought like we did for the other one, right? One of this thought. So we're going to take this and pull it down a little bit, right? So it comes like this one, right? Okay. So now that we have pulled it down and it's like this one, now we want to expand it a little bit again. So we're going to right click, right? So when we right click, we want our transform is on. You see that we have these options where we can do free transform again and then expand. And you can just come back here, expand like that. Okay. So I guess it's okay. I'll just press enter, and then once I do that, I can easily just come back here. Um, let's just make the radius of our shape. Now let's go to properties. Properties. We're seeing feathers, but we're not seeing the place to shrink our edges. Why are we not able to shrink it? It's because we have transformed it too much. We're going to undo our transform. When we undo it, you're going to see that we'll be able to see we now have this possibility to do what? To do this, right? Because we have now transformed the shape, right? So first things first, we have to do what? Bring it to curve the shape, right? Like this. So when we curve the shape, we have the perfect curves that we need. Then we can now come and transform it. Because now I just did that so that you can see the mistakes that you can get yourself inside, where you get to transform and then you want to come and change the distort the shape. You find out that you cannot be able to reduce the make the radius of the shape rounded anymore. Okay, so just have that in the back of your mind. It's going to be a little bit challenging for you to get it distort rounded anymore when you've distorted the shape already. So we distort now since we've already done that, and then we can now pull right something like this. Yeah, I think something like this. So you see, since I've distorted, you can see that the properties that are here have changed, right? We're now seeing density and feather, so we can't reduce the radius anymore. So we now have this, right? Somewhere around here. Okay, so we are going to do the next thing. The next thing we're going to do is we want to bring in our person, like the chef, right? In the image, we have the chef in the image. So we want to bring in the chef next. So how do we do that? We already so we bring in the chef. You can see that the chef image has a background, unlike um, in the other example that we did, where we could just use the mask tool and the paintbrush tool to take out the background of the image. Here we're going to do something different. Okay, we're going to use I think it's the quick selection tool. Click on it, and then we come to select subject. Now you see that Photoshop has automatically selected the subject. Now it select and do something like this, which I don't like. So I'm going to add it to be part of my selection. I want it to select this side, this section. So no, I'm going to press Control Z to undo that. Yes. So I don't want that to be selected. So it's exactly where I want it to be selected. So I'll just come up here and say select and mask. Good. As you can see, the background is off. Why? Because I had already done my settings. So for your own, the transparency might be down, right? You see something like this. So all you need to do is pull up the transparency to 100%, right? And then once you've done that, every other thing is okay. So you can just pull down. So for my own, I already set up the way I want my output to be. Like I said, I want it to be on a new um, layer with new mask, with layer mask, right? So on your own, it's not going to be like that. So you come to the output and you select it. It's going to have a drop down like this. So you select new layer with layer mask. Okay, so you select that. And then you say remember setting so that next time you're not going to have to do this again. Like you can see when I came here, I didn't have to do it because you already remember what I did before. So I just say okay. As you can see, I have my image without the background, right? Perfect. Now, what's the next thing that I want to do? We want to take out this because remember we generated this from an AI. This is Gemini logo. We don't want the people when we're showcasing our design push know that we generated it from AI. So how are we going to do that? We're going to do that by select the image itself, and then we're going to come and take the laser tool. Now with the laser tool, we're going to draw around, just beside it around like this. Once you draw like that, you see something like this comes out. We'll right click on it. Right, when right click on it, we're going to select fill. Select on fill. Now you see here content, right? I've selected content aware, right? Now, but for your own, it might be different. So you just have to click on the drop down. You see several. It might be foreground color, background color, but you need to come to content aware, right? Click on content aware, and then you see okay. You see that logo just disappeared, right? Because we have done that. So now we're going to go to the next thing, right? What's the next thing? Let's check our image. Now we need to deselect this. We don't want it to be selected. So we'll go back to our laser tool and right click here. And then we go and say deselect. Perfect. So next thing is we want to shrink this image, right? So that it's not too big. So we shrink it a little bit and something like this, right? Okay, let's check the original image. Okay, we shrink the image to something like this. Something like this and press enter, right? But now the next thing is we want to put in what, a footer section on our design, right? We want to put in a footer on our design. So how do we do that? We're just going to come here and we take our rectangle tool and create a footer just like that, right? So I guess the color that teacher is using is the same color that he was using for the other design. So I think we should have a color saved here if I'm not mistaken. I think this is it. Let's check the color code. Okay, we just had an electrical breakdown here in my city, so that's why I had to down my things. Okay, so let me set the color. Let's go back to the color. And okay, I've done a lot of projects so far. So let's go to graphics and open. Okay, so we have a very serious electrical issue here in our city. That's why I had to take the break. So that's it. So the bulbs are just going off and on like the we had very high voltage, so all the bulbs in our cities were just popping up. So see, that's why you're hearing all the shouts at the background, like people were just shouting everywhere. It's it's really like a horror movie. Anyways, let's go ahead and continue what we're doing. So let me take a color code here. I just copy this and then go back here, and I'm just trying to make sure that everything is the same. I will click here and paste the color code. Okay, perfect. I think everything is the same now. So we have this. So I'm just gonna control T and transform that, and then unlink it here so that I can just pull this down, right, and press enter. So we have it like that. So the next thing is we want to make sure that this is also the same color as this. So I'll just double click here and click here, and then we have the same color. So perfect. What do we have here? Yeah, it's almost the same thing, right? It's the same thing, anyways. So we have that, right? So the next thing we want to do, right? What do we want to do next? We want to bring in the landmark Metropolitan University logo, right? So let's bring in the landmark Metropolitan University logo. So I guess I have it right here. I'm just gonna go back again, back again, back again. So I get into my folder. So the logo, I think I didn't bring it here. So I just go to my downloads. I think I kept it there. So I go to my downloads and should be here. Everything being equal should be here. Anyways, I'm sure you must have received the images because I'll definitely send it with the video alongside the video. So, is it not here? Not here also. Let's check it here. Okay, this is it. This is it. So we're just gonna carry it and drop it here. Okay, take it back up here and then shrink it. Oh no. Remember we unlinked it up here. So we're going to link it back so that when we shrink, it maintains its size. This is an image. We don't want to skew the image. So we're just going to put that here and then we press enter. Now if you notice, we have Landmark Metropolitan University, right, Institute. But here in our image here, we have it centered aligned, right? So what are we going to do? Since we don't have the logo itself, right? We're going to turn this into its logo icon, and then we're going to write the name ourselves, like how it is here. Okay, so let me show you how we're going to do that. So we would select this, right? Um, we can do this by just selecting this, and then we would come here and use the ellipse tool, right, to either select this. So we can do it by two ways. So we can use the ellipse tool to select like this, or select again like this. It's not really perfect. Okay, now the ellipse tool is not doing exactly what I wanted to do, so I'm gonna undo it. I would just deselect it, right? And let's try to use this other tool, this one, and try to select just this area that we don't need. We deselect it first. Let's deselect. So let's zoom in so we can see the image well. So we select, yes, this is the area that we don't need, right? We're going to select this one, right? And then we're going to come here and click on the mask icon, right? Click on it. Now what happens? They are hiding the other side of the image. So we're going to check the mask properties here, right here, right? Click here and see the properties. For some of you, it might be somewhere around up here, right? You can see have this property somewhere around here, right? For some of you, it might be here, but I think I prefer it to be here for me for now. So like that. So I'll just have this here. So you can see that we have the feathers, and then to 0, and then I can just invert it. If I invert it, that's what I'm gonna have, right? And then I should reduce this. No, this should have it like that. So that's what we have, right? If I reduce that, and I could do it inverse, and that's the kind of effect that we even need. But as you can see, you see here that the masking is not well done, right? So what I'm gonna do is I can just click here, right, and then invert this and click here, or click on here and reduce my brush size so that I can brush just the part that I don't want to show. I can just come and brush this black. Okay, like I said, I'm doing this so that you can understand that there are some things that definitely not work for some particular tools. Because remember, in the last program that we're doing, the last project, we were using the brush tool to mask, right? So why it's not working here, right? That's because we have used the select tool, right, to select and mask it. So now I'll try to brush, it's not working, right? So for us to do that, for us to fix that, we have to do ensure that we delete the mask, right? We need to do it, delete the layer mask. When we delete the layer mask, what happens? We have access back to the mask. So we can now click on mask. When we click on mask, we now have access to do what? To do exactly what we wanted to do, and it was not working. Mm, okay. Now, do you know why it's not working? Have you understood why it's not working? No, you definitely don't. It's because I said that the masking should be inverted, right? I said that the masking should be inverted. That's why it's not working, right? So if you've understood what I'm doing, I came here, right, and I said mask option invert. If I take it back to this, you see, we have black, right? If I invert it back, I'm saying this. So it's because I said invert. That's why when I try to use the black max pin, the black pins on the mask, it doesn't work. I need to use rather the white pins to instead make it disappear because I've said they should invert the mask. So when I paint with white, it disappears. So you see that these are just tools that you can use the way you want. Okay, Photoshop is as flexible as this. Last time I told you that you have to paint with black, but now we are seeing here that we are painting with white and it also disappears. You get? So once you understand Photoshop, you get a hang of it and you know that you are not supposed to cram things, you're supposed to understand every single step that you're doing. Now, as you can see, we have just a logo that is there, right? We have just taken off this text. So the next thing is we want to write out some text, right? This landmark metropolitan. We'll take our text tool and then we write here landmark metropolitan, and then we would not use Zabal, right? Is it Zabal that we're using here? Let's let's see. Let's reduce this to this to regular or rather use bold. Let's use bold, and then the height properties. Look at the properties that we have. We're just going to be equal to now, and then we'll reduce it to 16. I'm going to use blank to make it bolder. Okay, so we have this. Now, as you can see, we have that. We want to add institute, right? So we're going to say University Institute. Now, University Institute is not black, but then it's just regular. So we have it regular, right? So we just align it center to itself like that. Now we're going to group the two of them and call it logo, right? So that they can be together since they are related. Okay, so the next thing is we do a, want to organize information so that we can start putting in the other information is like we are hiring, right? Let's put in we are hiring. It's going to be on top of here. So we are then next to we're hiring. Now everything is going in caps. That's not what we want. Like once some should not be in caps. So how do we do that? We go to properties. We're going to change this. Move it from here. Yeah, everything is now caps. So now we change the color to white. And carry it right here. Now we're going to change the font size to about 214. So we are hiring five So we're going to put every other information and then start looking how to resize, right? So the next is cooks, two positions at Landmark Restaurant. So we have this about cooks, two positions at Landmark Restaurant. Two, yes, this, this to each. Then we're going to come here and put it this way, and we need this to be all caps. So how do you do that? Go to properties and then you come down here and say all caps, right? So you have it like that. Let me see if I can change the fonts, and this will be looking better. Poppins makes it look better. So we're going to use Poppins red line. Okay. So the next thing is I'm gonna put in all these buttons requirements. So requirements with the shape, it's a rectangle. Now if you notice it's a rectangle, right? But just some sides are curved. So we're going to uncheck this so that we can curve this side, curve this side, then curve this other side. Just like what we have here. No, it's not like that. Instead, it's the opposite. We've done the opposite. So it's this side that's curved and this side that's curved, right? So like that. Okay. So we have those two sides curved like that. So we have it like that, right? So what's next? We want to write in the information that is supposed to be there, which is requirements. Then let's make it bold. Like this. Like this. We'll do black, right? Okay, then black. So I'm going to push from this side. Okay. So now I want to put in the information medical certificate at least medical certificate at least. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pop up that flag and write all of that. Then just carry it and paste. Alright, SCL certificate for clean ID card. Yeah. Oh, application has cooked in a professional environment or restaurant. So this right here, just copy it, just cut it, and then go right here and create a text box. Right, this Control A, want to change this to white, and then say okay, take it above, then don't want it to be black, just want it to be regular. Okay, we have press enter, and we have all of that listed out for us. Right, so now we have this listed out. Medical certificate, all of this. Now, what else is here? We need the bullets, right? Then we have to write all application files should be dropped at the registrar's secretariat landmark campus B. Register. Registers. Uh, am I right here? Understand. The registrars. So we add text box. Let's make it white. Regular. Now I want to reduce the size of this one to 18. And the size of this one to 8. And the size to 8. And the size of this to 6. And the size of this to 86. And the size of this to 60. So something like that. And then we have this adjustment. Adjust this. Okay, so let's increase the size of our rectangle because it seems to be smaller. We're going to Then we can add a rectangle here. Equal to 0. Double, and then change the color to blue. And take this one up. And so we select this one too because we want all of them to align. So we select everybody here. So all of them can align. So I just stand that again. Oh, hold it like that. So now application deadline. Deadline. Twenty 2025. sure that it's aligned. Yes. Bring it down a little bit. So you just have to bring this other one a little bit down to ensure that we have enough space in between these other elements. Let's make this bold. Not very long. So okay, I think we have organized the text. Next thing now is we want to put the bullets, ellipse, the bullets. So it's below the other thing, so put it up. We need it to be green, right? So I'm really going to select any kind of green. Because we're doing our list. Oh, select the kind of green that I want it to be because the green is supposed to be the same like this one here, remember? So we'll just change this one at once to the bold. It's supposed to be. This something. Okay, so we have that. Now, what do you want to do? You want to check the leaves that are flying behind. So let's insert them. Remember, we don't want to skew an images. Okay, whatever is. Let's go and check. Okay, and it's looking blurred. So now we need to do it. We need to blur these images. So how do we do that? We're going to go to filter and select blur and select mm, blur more, motion blur, gradual blur. I think that's not the blur we want. Filter, blur gallery, iris blur. So just want to have that blur effect, right? So we say okay. So now I have the blur effect on the leaves, right? So but now it's the leaves are too much. So we're just going to add a mask on it, right? And then we would yeah, some of them up. This one, this one. So this one, so the leaves are up. Good. Now you see that our background also has too much blue. We don't want that much blue. So what we're just going to do is do the same thing and then we select our brush tool and then brush down too much blue, right? Okay, just as much as that. So now the next thing is what want to do green. Uh, the color of the green that I want to choose is very important. So click choose green from here. It's too dark, so we can take something up again. something like this. Right. Um, something like something like that. And then use a black dot, something like that. Perfect. So we have it like that. Then now we have our bullets, right? Just the way we need them to be. So we need this text to also change to the green that we need it to be. Highlight it and change the color from here by selecting this color and the green that we want it to have. Yep. How is the green looking? Not the green that we need. Can we not have this color palette, please? Because this green is not the green. Just paste. So we have that now there. Okay, the next thing that we are looking at is these details below and this one. Uh, we want to filter the detail. Filter. And saturation. So we're going to cover the hue and saturation. Hue and saturation. Shift it a little bit towards this. Nope, nope. Let's make sure it is on there and the layer only. Yes. Yeah, let's make it green. Increase saturation. Yeah, I think the light is good. Increase the saturation so it looks like the writings on the design. Yes, that is it. Then what else are we going to do? Now we have this section too. design, right? Because the other section is looking like what we made. Okay, I think here we're just going to change this to Montserrat. Montserrat font will do, I think so. Here, regular. Let me try to arrange this the way it's supposed to be. Yes, arrow down, let's bring it down. Yes. So I select these and press shift and select other on top and press arrow down to take it down. Press click on this as left click and press shift and left click on the star one and then that. I think the other one is perfectly okay. Okay, I think this one too we need to do Montserrat font, right? So that is not wrong. So let's do Montserrat. Montserrat is perfect. Montserrat. And we have what we need. I think this one too Montserrat will be it. And we should go back to 6 and then we do Montserrat. Regular. And I guess we need to go back to 5. Right? And we should do bold. Yes, Montserrat. Bold. We do. This center. So we have that there. Like that. Perfect. So now we want to do what? The navigations that we have below. So contact us now. Let's just write. Contact us now. And then we have the phone numbers 6723395 0 space forward slash space 694 space 990 space 622 backslash 67375 space forward slash 708384 maybe we need to do the same. So contact us. Right. So we need contact us. And contact us section here. Regular. We have contact us. And this 30. Let's get the same colors. Combination. 30 from this. 40. Select. Hold. So this is campus blue, campus blue, change the color to red. So that now, what do you think? We should reduce the font size, right? I think we should reduce the font size here to 4. And here also 4. We have that, that. Boom. Let's bring in this right location icon. It's too big, so we're going to down, make it smaller. And the size, like this, like this. Now you see that it's black, right? Want to change it to white. How do we do that? We're going to go to blending options by double clicking here. So just choose color overlay, then select the color overlay, select the color want it white, and we say yes. We say okay. That's it. Straightforward. Now we want to put in icons for our call, right? So the very first one we're going to bring is this part as well icons and then shrink it down, carry it to the location, shrink it down to the size that we need it to be. Press enter. Now we need another icon which is a call icon. So add it inside and shrink it down. So something like that. Take a look. I think we have everything that is here. Now we have everything that is there, here, right? So size, you can see that we have a little bit space below. So we're going to do what? We're going to say image and we'll go to canvas. We want to reduce it to 100 to 1000 back. Let's see how it goes. Okay, let's see. We are cutting it on both sides. So we're just going to select this and shift it. Even though we do that, it doesn't change anything because as you can see, we have cut a lot of part on it, right? So we're going to go back again and do what? Size. So somebody asked the question that once you have done it, you that it's do like that. So this is how I changing it. I'm changing the canvas size. And then let's see how it goes. Better. So I think this size is good to go. So we just highlight everything, then shift it down so that we have space at the top, right? Just like how we have it at the bottom. Okay. So with this, I would say that we have designed what the teacher asked us to design. If there is any other thing, of course, I'll be waiting for you to send it to me uh, on the comments on the group. So that's it. But now, before I'll just have to show you how to save. So you save by coming to files and say save as, right? You say save on your computer, right? So you choose file. I want to save it to files. Second project. I name it, and I'll save it as a PSD and as a save. Okay, okay, that's me safety. So I can now export it by coming right down to export. export as, and then I would then export it as a JPEG, right? Export. Then see. Download folder. So that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's what we just designed. That's it. Yeah, so that is the design that we just did now. So let's go ahead and carry it from here by pressing Control X and coming back inside our design and going to here and pasting here. So that is it for today. If you have any questions, you can always ask me. Thank you all for joining, for going through to the end of this session. So thank you. Bye bye.